everybody, and welcome back to Vividly Dark, a podcast where we talk about all things creepy and geeky and everything in between. With me, as always, is my wonderful and beautiful co-host, Zoe.
Hello.
Thought you were going to say your own name there.
I can if you want me to. I've said my own name before and you're like, I was going to say that.
Oh, my bad. And I'm Patrick. And today, we have a very exciting episode for you all. It's probably one of my favorite things that I've ever read about, learned about. Even going into this, like, it just brought a lot back for me. Today, we get to deal with my favorite subject, UFOs. UFOs. Or, sorry, the now politically correct term, UAPs.
UAPs? You have to tell me again what it means.
Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Oh.
Yeah, so we went from unidentified flying objects to now unidentified aerial phenomenon. So, before we begin, we have to give a little disclaimer as we usually do. Now, although there's no instances of, like, murder or anything like that in here, the event that we are about to talk about was recorded and documented by numerous sources, as well as eyewitnesses. People have faced severe backlash through much of their lives, but remain strong in their belief that what they witnessed was indeed real. Who are we to say they're wrong?
Well, who is anyone to say someone's wrong
Exactly.
about their experiences
About
that they
their
witnessed?
truths.
Because we weren't there.
Exactly. That's what I mean. So, for this episode, please remain respectful to those involved and respect their privacy, as many involved are still alive today.
Yes, so this happened not long ago, did it? What you want to talk about?
Yeah.
And I was watching a video about someone else talking about it not long ago.
Yeah, because they've just had the 40th... No, has it been 40 years? No, not quite. Almost. Or I don't know, maybe they were just talking about it, whoever you watch.
Yeah, someone else was just saying the same story, I think.
It's a good one.
It is.
Right, so I think we should just get into it, yeah?
Let's get into it.
Let's do this thing. The year was 1980. The Cold War was in full swing and nuclear arms threats were at the forefront of everyone's thoughts. Tensions between the U.S. and Russia, or the USSR at the time, were at an all-time high. After World War II, the United States did two things. They implemented a new branch of the U.S. military, the Air Force. The second thing they did was use the UK as a means of frontline readiness in case another war kicked off in Europe during this time. Not far from the Suffolk coast of England, also not far from where we are, lies a stretch of forest. Within that forest are two RAF bases, RAF Bentwaters and RAF Woodbridge. And at the time, these two bases, known as the Twin Bases, were currently occupied by the United States Air Force, used as housing for some of the U.S.'s most advanced assets at the time.
What does that mean, advanced assets?
I was about to tell you.
Like, most important people?
No, I was literally about to tell you.
Oh, sorry.
Bentwater and Woodbridge became home of the 81st Tactical Fighter Wing, a squadron which housed three aircraft, the F-4 Phantom, the A-10 Warthog, and the F-84 Thunderstreak, which, among the three, is a small and agile aircraft capable of carrying a nuclear strike package. Which brings me to another point. The bases were not just home to these aircraft, but also to some of the Air Force's nuclear arsenal. Something to bear in mind as we go through this story. So that's what advanced assets would be. Because the F-4 Phantom and the A-10 Thunderbolt were new aircraft at this time. Fairly new. And the Thunderstreak was essentially a fighter jet that was able to carry a nuclear bomb. But definitely don't do that nowadays.
Right.
Too dangerous.
I mean, it would have been too dangerous back then, too. They just didn't care.
Maybe. It's way more safer now.
Yeah.
And I can say this, I have worked with them, and there's so many fail-safes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't talk a whole lot about it, but there we go. As I mentioned earlier, these two bases are tucked into the thickness of the forest, a place where many locals would enjoy a leisurely walk with a dog or a partner. This stretch of forest may have just continued being exactly that, but because of one cold, wintry night in December, this stretch of forest would become known to many. Etched in the fabrics of time, of paranormal history, this stretch of forest is known as Rendlesham Forest.
I can't believe I've never been there. It's like not that far from us.
It was a lot closer when we lived.
Yeah, before we moved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't believe I've never been there.
I know.
And also, I'd not really heard anything about it before until we were together.
That's insane. I don't know how you haven't.
I don't know. I guess I've never really gone down this avenue so much.
Yeah.
Before. I don't know.
It's just if anyone out there is a huge fan of the UFO whole thing, then you have undoubtedly heard of Rendlesham Forest. If not, then I highly doubt you have. So it's most likely because that's not anything that really interested you. You just never heard about it. Otherwise, it would literally just be another forest in the UK.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just strange because I've lived around here my whole life, so.
Yeah.
Strange I haven't heard such a big story.
Yeah, it is a bit strange, but happened before you were born and all that. It was a very cold, wintry night. 2 degrees Celsius, or about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. The skies were clear, the stars were bright, and the wind was calm. And for Pennsylvania native Airman First Class John Burroughs, this weather was nothing new. Burroughs, along with some unnamed others, were securing the east gate of Woodbridge on the 26th of December, 1980. And although having been on shift for a few hours, Burroughs' night was just getting started. What is that?
Sweeties. Sweeties. What? Don't judge me.
I'm not judging. I just thought you were messing with something with your feet.
No, I just accidentally kicked them. Continue.
Are you opening?
No, I'm not holding them. I just kicked them. I put them down there.
Okay. On the other side of Woodbridge, patrolling the airfield in a Jeep, 2 more security airmen were unknowingly about to be called to assist Burroughs, becoming part of something bigger than they could have ever imagined. Experienced Security Forces Staff Sergeant Jim Peniston, along with a young airman, Ed Kappensag, were waiting, watching, and observing. Burroughs would then break the silence of the night. At approximately 3 a.m., Burroughs breaks radio silence, reporting that he had just witnessed a large, strange set of lights land in the forest just beyond the east gate where he was positioned. Burroughs would report this as a helping hand incident, something that Air Force bases to this day take very seriously, as it means that there is likely a threat within the area and all personnel need to be on alert or responding.
What, so he set that off when he saw it?
Yeah. So this is like something that...
Did like the whole army just all rush in?
Air Force.
Air Force, it's the same
No,
thing.
it's not.
Same thing to me. Alright, we don't need to get into it.
No, it is the Air Force.
Okay.
Love.
So the whole Air Force rushed in?
Oh, not necessarily say the whole Air Force. The security. Everyone on duty would have been alerted to this area and or heightened alert. So they wouldn't all respond to one area because then that leaves the rest of the base vulnerable.
Well,
they just heighten their alert status, and personnel that are central of the base will then expand outwards.
I see.
Untoo sure exactly what they were responding to, Peniston and Kappensag believed that the lights could have potentially been a downed aircraft that had just crashed. But when they arrived at the gate, they would have a discussion with Burroughs. It was then that he repeated himself in saying to the two that what he had just witnessed didn't crash. It landed. Words that would mean a whole hell of a lot more in the next few hours and over the next couple of days. What A1C John Burroughs had just witnessed and reported would go on official record, along with further reports from Peniston and Captain Sag and another Air Force official, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Halt, as well as local police, along with UK and US government officials, to include local civilians. This collaboration of events and eyewitness testimony would become known as the UK's Roswell. But to all involved, this was officially reported as the incident at Rendlesham Forest.
So what you just said about Roswell, that's what happened in America, isn't it?
Roswell in America is where a UFO crashed.
Yeah.
It's in New Mexico.
So it's the same thing. That's what they're referring it to.
No, the incident in Roswell was like, yes, they are referencing that, but it's a very different thing because of the whole UFO crash and everything that was involved with it. The military. This is where Area 51 came from. The Air Force was involved, obviously. That's why it's compared to Roswell. The incident is very different.
Okay.
As more of the squadron's higher-ranked personnel arrived, a plan was made. If there was in fact a downed aircraft, then it needed to be found in order to send out a rescue team. If it was potential Russians spying on the base or causing mischief, then it needed to be investigated.
Why did they assume Russian? Because of the Cold War.
Yeah. For this venture off base, a team was assembled. Peniston, Captain Sag, Burroughs, and another staff sergeant, Bud Steffens, who was also patrolling a different sector of the East Gate that night and also saw the lights. This team would be tasked to leave the base and drive into the forest where the lights had landed.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. The four would hand over their weapons.
I bet though they'd all be like well hyped for it, wouldn't they? They'd be like, I want to go see what the lights are.
Yeah, they would be excited. I wouldn't even say that they were probably scared because they'd have been like, we'll see. No, we can't because they were probably excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just leave it. The four would hand over their weapons as the UK did not permit the Air Force to travel off base with them, pile into a jeep, and make the journey towards where the lights were witnessed to have disappeared to, roughly 200 meters from the perimeter of the gate. And because they didn't get to take their weapons, that's why I said they probably weren't as excited. They weren't going to get to shoot nothing.
Yeah, but also, like, that would make it slightly more scary, wouldn't it? Because you've got no way of protecting yourself.
Security forces love popping off rounds.
That's what I mean. They would have not had their weapons.
Yeah.
So actually going would have made it slightly more scary because they wouldn't have had a way to protect themselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Armed with only radios and flashlights, or torches, the small team would drive off base, eventually coming to a roundabout area. Not a roundabout, just a roundabout area.
Yeah,
okay.
Gotcha. We're British, not dumb.
Burroughs and Steffens believe they had witnessed the lights. I just had to clarify, okay?
I'm saying we because of people watching.
Yeah.
I'm not referring to myself as two people. Although I could be six.
Yes, indeed, baby.
Thank you.
Being the more experienced, Staff Sergeant Peniston would have Burroughs assist him in locating evidence of something having been or still being in the forest.
So only two of them went in?
Yes.
No, I wouldn't be able to stand on the edge and wait. You know what I'm like with waiting.
Yeah.
There's no way I'd be able to wait.
Well, the thing is, because they're having to try and find... So what if it is Russians? And then you send all four of them in there. Then they have no way
I wouldn't send all four of them in there. I'd just demand to be one that went in.
Oh.
I'd be like, I'm going in or I'm going home. I am not waiting.
Fair enough. I would definitely be the one going, I'm going in, motherfuckers. I'm going in.
Yeah, but I bet they all felt like that. I bet they were all like arguing over like, no,
Probably.
I should go in. No, I should go in.
Well, to be fair, he's the one who saw the lights, so...
He already got to see the lights, so let someone else.
Fair enough, yeah.
See? Easily done.
So let me go, damn it. Staff Sergeant Steffens, along with Captain Sag, would stay at the Jeep, monitoring the radios and standing ready to respond however need be.
They lost the rock, paper, scissors fight.
Yeah, pretty much. They probably drew straws or something. With this, Peniston and Burroughs entered the dense dark forest armed with their flashlights and a radio to stay in contact with the CSC, or Central Security Control, as well as Steffens and Kappensag. They were to report back to everyone every 5 or so minutes to confirm they were indeed okay and had not been taken, or worse, by potential enemies.
What would they have done if they did?
What, been
Then would they have
taken?
all rushed in?
What do you mean?
If they were taken by enemies.
Well, for Burroughs and Peniston, that would have sucked.
Well, yeah. But I mean, what would the Air Force have done then? Would they have rushed in then?
No.
What, they're just leaving to it?
Not so much. They would probably pull back into the base, lock it down, and then, because it's nighttime, you don't really want to risk sending a bunch of people out into the dark woods because you don't know what's out there.
It's just took a turn, innit?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would want to be the one that goes in there now.
Yeah.
What if you got taken and no one came to rescue you? Because they have to, like, protect themselves first.
Knowing Russia at the time, you would have probably been killed straight away.
I mean, that's the best you could hope for,
Yeah.
really, isn't it? If you're being taken care of.
Yeah, they're not the Nazis. They just done.
Sorry, I'm going way off, but how would you cope? I personally would have a major heart attack instantly and just die on the spot.
If you got taken?
Yeah. I highly doubt I'd survive to get back to Russia or wherever that I was taken to and then tortured.
I wouldn't. I'd fight until they killed me.
Yeah, you would. I wouldn't. I'd be dead immediately. They wouldn't even get their hands on me and I'd be like, fuck that.
Or she's just playing a possum. Pick her up. We have fun.
I wouldn't care because I'd be dead. I wouldn't know.
This is fair. Steffens and Kappensag would watch the pair disappear into the darkness. Even with their flashlights on, it was hard to maintain visual contact with the pair. Burroughs would walk ahead of Peniston, cutting a narrow tunnel of light through the blackness. Only steps behind him, Peniston would scan the tree line, looking for anything that could explain what Burroughs had seen. Then they see it. A light, bright but small, and it's moving. Moving not towards them or away, but from left to right and up and down.
Along the aircraft? Or like around the area?
No, the light
if it's
is
scanning?
moving. The light is just, it's a ball of light that they're watching, and it's literally going.
So they're not at the aircraft yet?
They're not at the aircraft yet.
Mm.
Spoiler alert.
What's the boiler? What's the boiler?
What's the boiler?
What's the ball of light from?
The craft. But they're still quite a distance from it.
Okay.
All they see is a light.
Okay,
A
sorry.
ball of light.
Ruined that.
Yeah. So it was moving from left to right, up and down, with quick speed.
And we don't know where this is coming from.
No, not at all. But it was moving with quick speed and sharp, very precise movements. The two follow, not running towards it, but moving carefully towards where the ball of light had just gone. Now further into the forest, the pair would begin to notice something. First and most obvious to them is that the radio has begun to receive interference from something. The other, they both begin to feel as though the air around them has become electrified.
Ew.
The hairs on their arms and necks stand on end, but they press forward.
Would you not worry then that there was like a bomb about to go off? Because isn't that a thing with some bombs that you feel the static in the air?
Yeah, but this is why they don't just rush towards it. They have to like keep calm, breathe, and just.
We're gonna keep going towards the potential bomb that's going to destroy us. But slowly.
But we have to find out what it is. Is it a bomb? Is it an aircraft? You don't know.
Send in the robots.
Don't have them at this time.
Nah, fuck off. They had robots in the 80s.
Probably, but.
They definitely did.
Yeah, they definitely did. But
men are cheaper.
Men are more expendable.
That's what I mean. It's easier to send in men.
Yeah. This is true, actually.
The robots they have to rebuild.
Yeah, but it's the government. They got money. They do have money.
But not time.
Don't fucking let them fool you. Anyway, that's a different rabbit hole.
Who said they don't have money?
The government's always saying, oh, we have to stop paying. I'm not getting into it.
Okay. So anyway, instead of running away from the charged air, they run, not run,
and
crawl.
They didn't even, no, Their whole military career has trained them for this moment. They breathe softly, step lightly, and watch the area around them with precision eyes. Then, something else. Not only does the air feel electric, but there is now absolute silence. No animals, no wind, just pure, dark
Nuclear
silence.
weapons.
The pair continue. What?
Nuclear weapons.
What about them?
The air is charged. There's no sound because other things have already probably died.
That would have happened instantly. They wouldn't have even known.
Yeah, it might have been a little one and they're walking into it.
A little nuclear bomb.
Well, you never know.
You know what happens when an atom splits? Yeah.
Alright, we're not getting all sciencey about it.
That's literally what nuclear physics is.
Carry on.
Okay. With each step they...
Stop laughing at me.
I'm not laughing with you, I'm laughing with you.
You're
not
not
laughing at
me.
you.
You're laughing at me.
No. Other way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With each step they take, the twigs, leaves, and cold ground crunch beneath them louder than normal. Then, as both would later describe, a feeling of something heavy comes over them. It's described as feeling as though they were walking through deep water or mud, or as though they were walking in slow motion. Back at the Jeep, Peniston and Burroughs had now missed 2 of their windows to check in, and the CSC wanted answers. What do? Should they send more personnel? Steffens, having known Peniston for a while, now trusted that his fellow SECFO sergeant had the situation under control, and would therefore radio into the CSC for them and tell them that all was fine and they had eyes on them.
Why?
To buy them more time, because he's.
But he don't have a clue what's going on.
But he knows that there. It is
he
the
does
trust.
not know shit. Come on.
He
they
doesn't.
could have walked
but
in there and just gone
when
by
you.
someone, and then you just not heard.
Yeah, but when you, it's so hard to explain. Just in that career, you just know. You have a sense when something's not right.
Ain't nothing about this right.
No, there's that, but he knows that his fellow officer
I
is
think
okay.
their radar's off.
Probably. Back to Peniston and Burroughs, the pair had now gone fairly deeper into the woods. It was now that the two would see it again, this time closer, more clear. In a clearing roughly 20 meters ahead of them hovered a very large, very bright, pulsating red, blue, yellow, and orange light.
So we've got more lights now, not just the up, down, side to side.
Well, yeah. Rather than turn back, the two continued their approach. But then, without warning, the light suddenly grew. Fearing that they had just walked into a trap and a bomb had just exploded, the two hit the deck hard, covering their faces and heads from debris. But it never came, nor was there any sound. After a moment, the two gathered themselves and brought themselves up to their knees. Just ahead of them, something incredible. Something they had never seen before. A craft. Both would describe the object they saw as a large, triangular or almost pyramid-shaped craft with lights that went all the way around the bottom section of the object.
God, I did not know that's where that was going.
Neither did the audience, I'm sure.
I had no idea.
No, definitely not. And just as if they had entered some sort of bubble, the pair were merely feet away from the craft and each other. But as Peniston would state later, he yelled to Burroughs to check on him, but received no response. Burroughs seemed to be in a trance, staring at the object in pure disbelief.
Damn.
Burroughs would later recall that what he was looking at was lights that were almost plasma-like, not blinking or flashing, but rather moving around almost like a lava lamp. He also described the craft to be metallic in color and hovering just a couple feet above the ground.
Oh, so it's not even standing on the ground.
That's his recollection of it. Now, the two do see different things, which leads into a whole thing of speculation later on. But Peniston, slightly closer, would describe more than Burroughs. He continued to approach what he described as a triangular-shaped craft, metallic in color, with lights all around. But on the lower part of the craft, there were strange symbols, almost like hieroglyphics wrapped around it. And it wasn't floating, but instead it was resting on 3 legs. Peniston had come to his feet by this point and had found himself inches away from the craft. He instinctively pulled out a pen and paper, which was common at this time, and wrote down exactly what he was seeing. He looked back
Well, that's very clever.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said,
It's the last thing I'd think of doing.
Yeah. Experience, with all experience comes knowledge, so he just knew what to do. He looked back at Burroughs, who seemed to still be in a trance, and noted how shiny the craft was. And not only this, he would describe how it felt.
What, the actual craft?
That's right. Staff Sergeant Jim Peniston, either crazy, brave, or both, reached out and touched the craft.
Maybe he didn't believe it was real.
Probably not. He's just like, I don't know. Describing the texture as almost glass-like and cold to the touch.
And it was turned on, wasn't it?
Mm.
So you'd think it would feel warm, probably, from like an engine.
Yep.
How bizarre.
Peniston then recalls backing away from the craft and back to Burroughs, helping him to his feet. The two then report that without any sound whatsoever, the craft would begin to ascend back towards the tops of the trees, and within an instant, the craft maneuvered as it had previously, with precision and speed through the forest and then back into the sky, disappearing almost instantly.
What? They saw it take off again as well?
Literally, after he touched it, they backed away and it just made absolutely no sound.
What?
Yeah, and they were so close to see it going through the trees and everything that they were like, it looked as though the aircraft knew exactly where the trees were, because it just went around them and then out.
What the fuck?
Crazy.
So there was no like broken trees around it or anything?
There were. They find them later.
Right.
I'd be like, you see that? I see nothing.
See what?
Yeah, see nothing. Well, we better go report back that you are crazy.
Just you.
Just you. You don't know what the hell you saw. Must have been a shooting star.
That's crazy. I didn't realise they saw it take off again.
Indeed,
and it made no noise.
No noise.
And it was cold, so it wasn't run by some sort of engine.
No. Interesting.
So, there's a theory, isn't there, that they come around where they think nuclear things are, yeah?
Which is why I said at the beginning of the thing to keep that point.
But nuclear anything, does that not need heat to make it work? What does it need?
Splitting an atom.
But would that not conduct some sort of heat?
It would conduct an extreme amount of heat. Yeah.
So if they were using that for their aircraft, which is a theory, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then it would be warm.
Yes, in theory. But nuclear energy or anything like that would primarily not what they would use for travel.
But that is a theory, that they use it for travel. To charge the ships and stuff.
I don't know. If you know.
I mean, no one really knows, do they? It's all speculation.
Yeah, it's all theory because we don't know. We've never, us simpletons and not high up government officials have never seen these craft up close. We've never been able to study them. Certain people have. Not us, though, because we're simpletons. We're too stupid to understand. Fuckers.
I don't think it's that we're too stupid to understand. I think it's that we're just too poor to ever be allowed near it.
There's nothing about being poor.
Why?
It's literally because the government hires these scientists because they think we're all too stupid.
Well, obviously, but only rich people would get a chance to go near it.
They don't have to be rich. They just gotta be smart.
Smart and rich.
They probably are rich because of the government paying them off to keep their fucking mouths shut. But they didn't have to be going in. Back to Rendlesham. These are rabbit holes Patrick need not go down tonight.
Sorry.
Peniston and Burroughs would then make their way back to Steffens and Cappensack, still at the Jeep. When they returned, Steffens would ask almost authoritatively where in the hell they had been and why they had been gone for so long. Peniston would simply reply, "But we were only gone for 5 minutes, 10 max." The response he received was beyond unexpected. They had actually been gone longer, for nearly an hour. Peniston looked at his watch, and the dials had stopped turning. The batteries were dead. Lost time is a common trend between those who have contact with UFOs or extraterrestrials, along with the heavy or slow motion sensation and electric feeling in the air.
Do you think that the spacecraft or the aliens or what have you just like zap the energy out of literally everything around them?
It just has something to do with the paranormal. Like, it's able to. But see, maybe this does have to do with the nuclear thing, like, because it does require an immense amount of energy to make it happen, I'm sure. Or it conducts an immense amount of electricity. I can't remember. But they're able to take that and put it into their vehicle or whatever, their craft, and use it.
I'm just thinking like the way it all is. Everything goes slow-mo, watches and stuff die, so batteries. Yeah. It's like it takes, like, just draws the energy from everything.
Yeah. And uses it for itself.
Yeah.
Orford, England. A small village nestled tightly along the Suffolk beach of Orford Ness. Orford is one of those picturesque coastal villages that, although small, has an abundance of history to it. Besides the local food, other activities include the village's very own and seemingly very intact castle, which was built by King George II. Built in the 12th century, this polygonal castle features unique underground chambers and one hell of a view at the top.
Love a castle.
Oh, me too. We should go. It is part of English heritage. Orford Ness National Nature Reserve offers something as well. Known for its secret Cold War military history and diverse wildlife, this remote island of sorts is only accessible by way of ferry or boat. But while you're there, you can hunt for fossils, enjoy the salty air, or explore the Orford Ness Lighthouse.
We need to go there. It sounds awesome.
It's a very small village.
You can get a boat.
Yeah, a ferry. And you have to own your own boat to get to the other side.
But you can get a ferry.
Yeah. Or at least you could have before 2020. Visit the lighthouse, that is. The lighthouse was reduced to rubble in the COVID year due to severe coastal erosion. This lighthouse was built in 1792 and was in operation until 2013. It was in 2018.
It's the opportunity.
Yeah, it's gone now.
That's annoying.
Yeah. Still got the castle though.
Yeah.
And there's a Coast Guard station as well. It was in 2018 that a surge of storms brought the water lines closer to the tower, and the water began to damage the foundation. The lighthouse stands roughly 30 meters tall, or 90-odd feet. On a clear night, with no clouds or fog, the light beams could have traveled miles up the coastal region inland. The light beams were a strong, bright, white and red, and if you found yourself in Rendlesham Forest at night, these lights would bounce off the trees and through the gap going left to right.
Wait, so they're trying to claim that that's the lights that they saw?
That is what many locals, including the police, would later state. That what the pair had indeed seen was no strange lights. It was common knowledge that the lighthouse, only 5 miles away from the landing location, produced strange lights through the forest because of how dense the area is and how bright the lights are.
Oh.
But how does this describe everything that Burroughs and Penniston witnessed? The simple answer is...
It doesn't.
It doesn't. I put we don't know. What we do know is this. Both the security forces airmen firmly believed in what they had witnessed, and unlike their fellow airmen, who were giving them a bit of shit for the whole ordeal, one man would take them seriously, and he would then have his own experience the following day. When the team of 4 returned back to CSC for the end of their shift that morning, they were told by their superiors to not report anything, and to leave in their report...
That's dodgy.
And to leave in their report logs they had to fill as though it was a normal night, so that way the bases would be spared from embarrassment from the public and the rest of the base.
What? Why would it be embarrassment?
Because, I'll show you here in a sec. When the morning shift began, that one aforementioned person would walk through the doors to a giggling, hackling, and joking CSC. So, as all high superiors do, he asked what was so funny.
Maybe a bottle of drink.
The reply he received was, Penniston, Steffens, Burroughs, and Captain Sad were out all night chasing UFOs. They went off perimeter to look for little green men. This was not overly funny to Holt, who would ask to see the report logs, but was told that they hadn't done them due to being told not to. So therefore, Holt would have the men come back in and write the reports for 2 reasons. First, Holt wanted to be sure that the base was covered by the reports, in case the local authorities found out that they had been off base. This would keep them out of trouble due to the law requiring them to report any off-base incidents. And the second part was for his own curiosity because he wanted to understand more about what had happened overnight. However, this is not where the story stops, and neither does the investigation, because a one-night event was not in the cards for these airmen. December 27th, the lights return. The forest hasn't changed. It's still the same trees, same ground, and that same eerie silence Burroughs and Penniston experienced the previous night. But there is one slight difference. The night feels heavier. Call it what you will, personnel being on edge after last night's events, or maybe even intuition, but it feels like something unfinished is still hanging in the air. More personnel have been assigned to the east gate. All of them stand watching, waiting for something to happen. Because after what happened the night before, you don't ignore the dark. Burroughs, back on shift, scans the tree line. Nothing. Just black between all the trees. Until a light. Far out and low between the trees again. Not falling or descending this time. Just there. As if the lights were watching them this time.
Ooh. Fuck that. Fuck that.
The radio silence breaks once more. Burroughs, to the CSC, in few words, states, "It's back." As he observes the lights, they begin to pulse, red, but this time dimmer than before, like the lights are breathing. The light then shifts sideways through the forest and between the trees, smooth and precise, just like last night. This time, multiple sets of eyes lock onto it. More witnesses, all security forces. This time, they are certain this is not one person's imagination. The light stops. Suddenly, everyone waits. Then, a second light appears. This time blue, smaller than the red light and off to its side. Then another. This one white and faint. Both appeared to have broken off from the first light. The lights begin to move independently of each other, splitting, then rejoining, putting on a show of sorts. Multiple witnesses would report the feeling of being watched, as if the forest itself was staring back at them. The trees don't move. The air doesn't shift. Even the night feels paused. And then the red light, almost as though it had a face, seems to turn towards them, as if it is now facing them.
Oh, hell no.
Deliberately.
They'll run.
You can't.
Why?
Because they're meant to hold their post.
I don't fucking care if I'm meant to hold no post.
You gotta
I'm
stay
a
where you
goner,
are.
mate.
For a moment, it's said that it doesn't feel like they were observing the lights, but instead, the lights were observing them. I don't know if you guys can hear her, but she's likely, you're going to hear a lot of purring.
I think that's probably all they can hear.
It is then reported that the blue light darted off, too fast to even track clearly. It's gone, then back again, this time further into the forest. The red light then follows, gliding between the trees, never touching them nor disturbing them, never disturbing anything, like it knew exactly where everything was.
Yeah, they was there the night before.
Yeah. Just as soon as they came, the show was over. The lights pull away, not fleeing, nor disappearing, just retreating, slowly and controlled, back into the depths of the forest, until darkness. No fade, no trail, no explanation. Just an empty forest once again. But this time, the security forces personnel don't feel like the forest is empty, because whatever just moved through those trees knew they were there, and it felt like it wanted them to know they were there too.
Creepy.
The next morning, reports flood into Holt's office. He is overwhelmed by the amount of witnesses, but remains partial to theory and logic. He doesn't disbelieve his squadron, but he isn't sure what to make of it. But there isn't much he can do anyway. So he tells personnel that if for whatever reason these lights return, they are to come get him immediately. He would not have to wait long at all. The night of the 27th was an officer's award ceremony. This is common for pretty much all the various squadrons of the base this time of the year to have Christmas parties and awards nights. These are not just ceremonies. They are parties dressed up in military dress blues with high-ranking base officials present to present to their personnel. Here, there is food for everyone, and the booze is free and flowing. Lieutenant Colonel Halt, along with many other base officials, were all attending this particular event. The night was getting later and later, and the party was still going. That was until airmen entered the officers' club in their khakis and approached the deputy base commander stating, "Colonel Halt, we need you to come with us now. It's back." Confused.
So was this 3 nights in a row?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why they came back. They don't very often come back, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
Yeah, you remember Lakenheath? That was like a whole week.
Yeah, I guess. They just weren't done researching.
They're just trying to find stuff or see what's around or what's happening. I don't know. Confused as to what they were talking about, Holt asked them for more clarification. "The lights, sir. They are back." At the table with Lieutenant Colonel Holt was the base's 1-star general, who ordered Holt and a few others at the party, who were definitely not drunk and had only had a few beers, if that, to go home and change and report to the sightings immediately.
Is that their words? We were definitely not drunk and only had a few beers, if that.
Yes. These other officers were more security forces personnel and also technical support officers who carried equipment with them that included radiation meters. These officers would not be the only ones to have equipment. Holt was one to be a very busy person.
No personal space.
She's giving her kisses.
Daddy's reading stories.
Yeah, it's about my people. I'm so happy.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe.
Is it because we're talking about aliens?
Mm-hmm. She loves them.
Uh-oh, quit it out there.
Mm-hmm. These officers would not be the only ones to have equipment. Holt was one to be a very busy person, and how most others carried notepads and pencils on their person, Holt carried a tape recorder, and when he went home to change, he made sure to grab his recorder.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. The lieutenant colonel...
Do we get to hear some sounds?
We do. The lieutenant colonel would then be driven out to the area where the lights had been seen. When he arrived, the area had been lit with light-alls, large generator-style mobile spotlights. It was observed and later stated that only a couple of the lights were on. So he asked the men if they had been properly checked and refueled, to which he was assured they had been, but something seems to be causing the engines to short out.
The aliens sucking the energy.
Yep. With his team on location and the forest fairly well lit by all the spotlights, Halt and his assembled squad would enter the forest. The lights had gone for now, and the team were simply looking for evidence that something had definitely landed there. The first part of the nighttime investigation was essentially procedural. They inspected the area where the supposed object had been seen. On the tape from his recordings and later reports, the team focused on 3 depressions in the ground, broken branches above them, high in the trees, possible scorch marks on the ground, and slight radiation readings. It's one thing for me to tell the story, so for this one, Lieutenant Colonel Halt will tell it himself, in his own words, as it happens.
No way. No frickin' way.
From the initial, I should say, suspected impact point, having a lift car that can't get the light all to work. Seems to be some kind of mechanical problem. Let's send back, get another light. Meantime, we'll let take some range together, Kyle, and chase around here a little bit, waiting for another light on to my pants. Standing up, security control. That's Mark 1 of the 5 is 5 number. Okay, we're now approaching area within about 25, 30 feet. What kind of readings are we getting, anything? Just minor clicks. What are the impressions? Is that all over there? Well, there's one more well to the security control. We're still getting clicks. Can we read that on the scale? Yes, sir. We're now on the 5-10 scale, and we're reading about third, fourth increment.
Okay, I didn't realize how long that was. But right now, essentially what they're doing is they're at the, remember Peniston had seen indentions in the ground. Well, they have their Geiger counter and they're putting it into that indention because they've seen it now. And they're picking up very small hits of radiation.
Right.
Very, very small.
Hey, this is Erie. What is the hot spot? This is strange. Erie, someone want to look at the spots in the ground? Whoops, what you want? The one all the time, yes, sir. Okay, let's step back and I'll walk all over. Come back here, somebody put a beam on him. Or you got to be back 10, 15 feet. You see it? Okay, lights off. What do you think about the spot? Want to see the first spot? Okay, that's what we call spot number 3. Let's go to the back corner and get spot number 1.
So this is the indent from floor.
Well, they're looking at the trees and everything around it and everything.
Yeah, but it stands spot number 1 to 3.
Starlight scope. Spot number 2 is right over here.
But they can't keep the lights on it because
Slight increase.
the lights keep dying.
Try to center.
Yeah, they're just trying to pick up heat signatures.
It's slightly off center. It's right there. This is the center spot we're looking at now. Almost the center. Slight increase there.
They measured everything.
Portion of 2 to 3, maybe 4, depending on the point of it.
Trying to find out when it.
It's only turned off once we are focused up. Looking directly overhead, one can see an opening in the trees, plus some freshly broken pine branches on the ground underneath. For the farmer's barnyard animals, it's very, very active, making an awful lot of noise. This is a pigmentation. You just saw a light there. Wait, let's slow down. Where? Right in this position here, straight ahead, in between the tree. There it is again. Watch, straight ahead off my flashlight there. So there it is. Yeah, I see it too. What is it? We don't know, sir. So you can try this one? Yeah, it's a strange, small red light. Looks to be about maybe a quarter to half mile, maybe further out. Let's switch off it. The light is gone now. It was approximately 120 degrees from the site. Is it back again? Yes, sir. We got some flashlights in. Let's move out to the edge of the clearing so we can get a better look at it. See if you can get the star scope on it. The light's still there, and all the barnyard animals have gotten quiet now. Yeah, we're getting about 110 to 120 degrees from the site out through to the clearing now. Still getting a reading on the meter. About 2 clicks. Meter's dropped 3 to 4 clicks, getting stronger. Now it's done. Now it's coming up. Hold up. There we go. About approximately 4 foot off the ground. Coming down to 110 degrees. All right, just turn the meter off. You gotta say that again. About 4 feet off the ground, about 110 degrees, getting a reading of about 4 clicks. Yes, sir. Yeah, but now it's dying. No, it's not. I think it's something other than the ground. I think it's something that's something variable here. Tree right over. We just found the first night bird we've seen. We're about 150 or 200 yards from the site. Everything else is just deathly calm. There's no doubt about it. There's some type of strange flashing red light ahead. It's yellow. I saw a yellow tinge in it too. Weird. It appears that he may be moving a bit this way. It's brighter than it has been. Yellow. It's coming this way. It is definitely coming this way.
Oh, that's so freaky!
They're shooting off. There's no doubt about it. This is weird. Yeah, definitely. Two lights. One light to the front, one light to the left. Keep the flashlights off. There's something very, very strange. Keep the headset on. See if it gets any stronger. Okay. Give us right the annotation that this is on the beta reading too. It's on the beta reading? The needle has been removed. Okay. This is we're falling off it again. It just moved to the right. Yeah. Off to the right. Strange. Well, what do you left? Let's approach to the edge of the woods up there. You want to do a lot of lights? Just do it carefully. Come on. Okay, we're looking at the thing. We're probably about 200 to 300 yards away. It looks like an eye winking at you. It's still moving from side to side. And when you put the star scope on it, it sort of has a hollow center, a dark center. It's like the pupil of an eye looking at you and winking. And the flash is so bright to the star scope that it almost burns your eye. We forced the farmer's house and across on the next field. Now we have multiple sightings of up to 5 lights with a similar shape and all, but they seem to be steady now rather than a pulsating or glow with a red flash. We just crossed the creek, and we're getting what kind of readings though? Getting through 3 good clicks on the meter, and we're seeing strange lights in the sky. 244, we're at the far side of the second farmer's field, and a sighting again about 110 degrees. This looks like it's clear out to the coast. It's right on the horizon. Moves about a bit and flashes from time to time. Still steady or red in color. Also, after negative readings in the solar field, we're picking up slight readings to the rather sporadic, but there's definitely something, some kind of phenomenon.
That is so freaky. So they're getting readings, and also there's like a winking red eye.
Yeah, that's what they.
Keeps looking at them.
Yeah, they say it just looks like a face. Just keep looking at them. But it's when they see it through this scope, which I'm pretty sure is a heat signature scope.
Yeah.
They're able to see that in the center of it is just hollow.
Yeah, like a pupil of an eye, he said.
Yeah. And they also say that...
I mean, imagine just being in a forest and there being a red winking fucking eye.
And then there's...
winking at you.
As the light's, like, doing whatever, pieces of it are, like, falling off. It's like it's molten, almost.
Oh, I wondered what he meant when he was saying it's like pieces are falling off.
Yeah.
That's so creepy. No. Maybe I don't want to go there.
I felt it best that you hear it from the man himself.
Mm.
Later, Halt reports 3 star-like objects, 2 to the north and 1 to the south, roughly low above the horizon. In his memo, he said these objects hovered and appeared to send down beams of light towards the base. The claim, often repeated in retellings, is that the beams came down near or onto the base, possibly near sensitive weapons storage. Afterwards, Halt wrote his now famous memo titled Unexplained Lights, dated 13 January 1981, to the British Ministry of Defense. It was not a classified memo and became public through the Freedom of Information Act. The memo summarized the sightings, the ground marks, the radiation readings, and the later aerial lights. The MOD's later position was basically unusual reports, but no evidence of a threat to UK air defense, and no radar confirmation. The National Archives summary notes the MOD was unable to explain the incident, but judged it of no defense significance.
What?
Yep. By the third night, the story had climbed the chain of command. It was no longer just a young airman shaken by lights in the trees. Now, the deputy base commander himself was walking into Rendlesham Forest, recorder in hand, trying to turn fear into facts. But the deeper they went, the less it felt like an investigation. Because the forest wasn't giving them answers. It was only giving them more questions. Questions still being asked to this day. And with that, we wrap the incident at Rendlesham Forest. What do you think?
That's crazy. There's so much more to it than I thought.
There's a lot to it.
That's so creepy. I can't get over that eye thing. I'm going to have a dream about the friggin' eye tonight. Last night was a dream that Patrick was getting possessed.
Oh, yeah.
And I was screaming at some ghost.
Not only in her dream.
I screamed out loud, apparently, yeah.
I mean, it was more like a
it wasn't
whimper.
a scream.
It was like,
In the dream, I was telling that ghost.
And outside of her dream, she was going,
So tonight, I'm going to be screaming probably because you've got some red flashing eye behind you.
Sorry.
And I'll be trying to save your life and I'll wake up to you laughing at me. Ungrateful.
Sorry. I just woke up to hearing and I was like, what the fuck? And then you started laughing too.
Yeah, I did.
It was weird. It was like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Like wake up in between when it was happening. And it was funny.
It was
because
funny.
you were laughing as well. And I know that I made a weird noise.
Well, yeah, hopefully you save me again tonight, babe. But eventually in your dreams...
hopefully I won't dream about it, but that's pretty creepy. The blinking red eye.
Yeah.
Winking at you. I don't like that.
Looks like it's winking.
I do not like it.
I,
and bits falling off of it.
So today, like to this day, you can go to Rendlesham Forest still, and now there is a trail there. The bases, as I'm aware of, are no longer active by either, definitely not the Air Force.
I don't know if that's helpful. I think I'd rather they were active if I was going to go and explore.
Yeah, but they were really there for the Cold War thing. And
but also, would they be any help? Probably not.
No, not for that.
Fucking rushing for each other.
Yeah. But yeah, on the path, there's boards and everything, and when you eventually get to the clearing where they were, and there is a sculpted aircraft there now. But like an alien one. It's It's not cheating.
It is.
It's like a monument to them.
Maybe, do we want a monument to them?
I don't know.
Because they're being creepy fucks.
That's because it's a huge thing. It's not so much a monument to the aliens. It's just to tell the story. And I would really love to go to the trail.
I do think that I need to go to the trail.
At night.
I kind of wish I didn't hear about the blinking red eye before that.
Yeah.
Because that's really
I
creepy
don't
out.
really like... So, that has to be something different from what they had saw originally or experienced, like got close to and touched. That has to be like a drone type thing. With that,
Yeah.
we hope that you enjoyed this story. I know I did.
Hang on. Before we finish, do things still happen now if people go there?
Don't know.
I need to find that out before
Yeah.
I decide if I'm going or not.
Yeah. I don't know. I would love to, even if that happened, I would just be like, yes.
You'd probably camp out there and wait
I-
for him.
I wouldn't walk towards them. I would run to them, like, take me.
You're a psycho.
But no. Yeah, so we hope you enjoyed this story. It is one of my favorites. I didn't learn about it until I got here in the UK when I first came here with the Air Force.
Wasn't there something that happened in America at the same time though?
It happened a
Similar
couple
sort of
years.
thing?
I want to say it happened a couple years before.
I thought it happened at the same time.
I want to same exact years. It was either the year before or just a few months before. It might have been a few months before. But yeah, similar, very, very similar thing happened in America.
Because the same with this drone thing that happened last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's happening in America at the same time.
Yeah, the drones were crazy. We can have another story on that. So, with this, ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening on YouTube or watching us on YouTube, whichever, go ahead and like and subscribe to our page. And if you don't already, follow us on our socials. Our TikTok is growing because that one,
Barely.
it's getting there. All right,
We're on TikTok and Instagram as well.
Yes, at Vividly Dark Pod. What I was gonna say is that it's doing better than I thought we were gonna be.
Yeah,
at
I
this
thought
point.
we'd literally have our mums and that.
Yeah, like just a few friends.
But we
We're
love
doing
that
alright.
some of you
Yeah.
are joining us for these episodes because we do have fun making them.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to hear people's feedback as well and to know that people are enjoying them.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So, and if you have your own stories of the paranormal, the creepy, or the geeky, or whatever, go ahead and write that into us at vividlydarkpod@gmail.com. That's vividlydarkpod@gmail.com. Tell us your stories so we can tell it for you. Or she can, one of the two. But for now, that is Rendlesham Forest, and I am currently working on something else that I'm quite excited about. So we hope that you will like that one.
Next
And
week.
we will see you next week. I'm going to stop dragging it out.
You're not very good at wrapping these things up.
I am not. I'm like a Brit when it comes to saying goodbye. Bye, 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 bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye. Anyways, talk to you later, everybody. Talk to you later, everybody. Goodbye for now. Bye.
Bye.